This next one is called Fragile Dolls. 4 dolls were made, all beautiful and painted, sisters of porcelain. The first doll was bought, put on a shelf and adored, never knew a crack to her exterior. 3 dolls were made, all different but fragile, and fragile dolls crack. The second doll would crack badly. She'd show off her cracks and scream. Then they would disappear as though they never exist. 3 dolls were made, all dealing with fragility, 2 frightened and bothered by the second. The third doll would crack. She'd show off her cracks and cry, then denied she ever did worse. 3 dolls were made, all faced with a fragile frame, 2 in the world of their cracks. The fourth doll would crack, but she would cover up her cracks with makeup, so no one knew she was in need of care, and thus she became invisible. 3 dolls were made, all plagued to be fragile, 2 warped with attention, 1 hating to be like them, but wishing she could. The Ballad of Lady Shay's Bereavement. And here's my rule with this one. If you get bored, if you don't want to continue, if you don't want to hear more, don't. Because clearly this won't be on your top 5 if you don't want to keep listening. So don't bother. If you don't like how it's going, just stop. I won't be offended. It won't bother me in any way. I won't even probably know that you just stopped. It's like, oh, okay, this is too fucking long. But it's a test when you think about it. Because if it's so long and yet you want to finish it, that means it's probably pretty damn good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's damn good. I'm not even saying it's better than the others. But think of it that way. I won't be upset if you just decide too long. No, not happening. But if it still intrigues you to finish despite that, then maybe I did a good job. I'm not saying still pick it for your top 5 if you are able to finish it. So, without further ado, Ballad of Lady Shay's Bereavement. I have a tale to tell you all, of grief and love so bittersweet, for ears to hear about a fairy call, how passion leads to defeat. And there was a fay, so gorgeous and bold, she sang and danced with utter glee. She truly was a beauty to behold, as her wings fluttered so free. Many nights ago I came to the forest, and so was the first time I had heard her voice. In this land I was but a starving tourist, but her beckoning charm left me no choice. My eyes gazed upon her while she danced, her hair flowing within the moonlight. I was a fool who became so entranced, but at my notice she took flight. I came again and again to make sure I still had my sanity. I needed to know if the fay has reign, for there must be more than humanity. Each night she would be there, with some songs and rhythm to project. She was in a world without a care. My presence she didn't even suspect. Her silky voice would caress my ears, feeling like it was giving me a kiss. A listener could not have fears, for it was filled with sweets and bliss. Her movements were filled with elegance, dancing around with such energy, I could tell at first glance that it would remain in my memory. Finally, for a time, the fay girl and I spoke. It truly was to be sublime, until my heart had finally awoke. She had a love for some man, making me feel ever so hapless, as she told me of their lover's plan, but all I could do was wish her happiness. I bid my friend a fair adieu, but promised to come back, for my weeping heart had knew, seeing her if another would turn it black. Many years had passed before my return, but things had changed. How could that be? I asked the villagers who was tried. such a sad answer they had given to me. 'Twas the Fay who lost her wings, her haunting voice echoing deep in the forest as she sings the words her heart was bellowing. The sound of her voice would disappoint any passerby who heard, for her sadness would shake your every joint, even if you knew not of her words. I had asked how this could come to happen, what left this poor Fay wingless, but they gave a sigh again, with a tearful answer such as this. There was a man she gave all of her trust, but he stole her wings, though he was her lover, for all he knew was power lust, so this was a pain she would never recover. In shock and utmost terror, I ran to find my friend. I knew without an error it was she who had met this end. I stopped in my tracks, hearing a song I surely could not deny. The voice was so sad and felt so wrong, but was understandable for the reason why. There stood the Fay girl, looking like a mourner. Her melody lost the charm of before, same as her movements as she turned a corner. The Fay I knew was no more. She glanced at me with such sad eyes. My voice choked to find the right things to say, for I knew it would be very unwise to upset a very scorned Fay. I knew I needed words for this encounter. I approached her, abandoning old charm. My heart began to pound even louder as I held the Fay within my arms. I said to her, I know I am but a girl, and your heart may never bend, but I care for you more than the world, so perhaps we could pretend. Perhaps, she whispered in my ear, this time it could be real. I heard her say, very quite clear, perhaps I love what we truly do feel. As we unlocked from our embrace, my fingers felt her take hold of my hand. The Fay who had lost her wings could face the feeling of a true lover's end. Yeah, so thank you for staying around and watching as much as you did watch. Even if you didn't watch all of it, I would not take it personally. And in case you want to see what my final look had become, I didn't do anything with the hair. No, wait. Ah! There we go, that's my hairstyle. There we go. Ha-ha! This is what the final look is. It's, oh, I just mixed up my lipstick. They don't look different on the camera, though. No, they don't look any different in person either, because I just mixed them up. They're both different purples. But one's more gray and one's more purple. But this is what Maiden Fay's wearing. Or lack of wearing. I don't know. It's up to the viewer's point of view. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. 'Cause I self-medicate with tea. Well, thank you all for staying around for Rhyming Thursday if you watched all of it, or if you enjoyed any of it, I'm even more happy to hear. If you thought I'm complete out of garbage, go ahead and say so, because, hey, I'm just a noob. You can't hurt me by telling me things I already know. I am no Shakespeare, I'm no Emily Autumn, I'm no Emily Dickens, or Oscar Wilde did write some poems, right? I know I'm nothing special, but if you enjoyed any of it, let me know. And if you're willing to participate, please give me at the very most 5 of your favorites that you've heard or read if you didn't want to listen. Like I said, no offense taken if you didn't want to listen. I'm so overdramatic. I'm melodramatic. So yeah, let me know if you liked any of what you heard. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Well, they're glad that you stayed, but you wasted yet another day. Their videos are boring, but they've got lots more in store. It's Deranged Royal Fay. Yeah.